hurt them. I will make them suffer like I have suffered.
Also released under the title Sweet Baby Charlie, The Sadist is a 1963 thriller about a trio of teachers whose car troubles trap them in a scrapyard where the titular character, played by Arch Hall Jr., toys with them.
Talk all you want. As soon as I finish this, you're gonna be through talking.
It's got the guy from EGA in it. My expectations were low.
That?
But I heard some good things about this movie before I started this whole project, and sure enough, The Sadist is actually pretty alright. It's actually kind of great at times.
You're the big man!
You're the man now, dog!
I enjoyed how the movie was able to maintain a premise like this for 90 minutes. They spend the entirety of this movie in one location, and it works. Some slow parts, of course, but the back and forth between the characters creates compelling tension. Sadist here wants one of the teachers to fix a car so he can escape, but he won't work if the sadist kills his friends.
You a real big man in front of your lady friend. But I'm gonna show her just how big you really are.
The performance from Arch Hall Jr. and realizing, hey, this is actually pretty good, was my biggest takeaway from this watch.
I'll kill you!
It's disturbing. The voice he's putting on and the exaggerated expressions almost turn him into a cartoon character. A little bit like Jack from The Shining. He's taking a drink and carrying a knife with the same hand. That's how you know he's insane. It'd be laughable, but the way the movie uses the character makes it effectively uncomfortable.
Taste it! Eat the dirt, taste it!
I like to think this is what happened after the events of EGA. Yeah, the caveman traumatized him this much.
No problem. We'll get the dune buggy and we'll whiz right out there.
The camera work is effective, and the framing can be pretty cool. There's some great visual storytelling here. Like this scene, the remaining teachers are planning to trick Archie here, so when one of them is giving the signal to the other, it's from the perspective of the driver's seat, so we only ever see the two of them. You know, because it's a secret between them, and the framing reinforces that. It's a little thing, but I like it. The movie's full of thoughtful framing like that. I enjoy how quiet it is for a while. The actual music score is serviceable, but a lot of that tension early on is built through ambience. I wasn't entirely convinced by the acting from some characters, and it does kind of drag at points, but I liked what the movie did with its single location. It builds and builds and builds and ends with an exciting payoff.
I can't stand snakes.
Most people can't.
This seems like a basic thing to praise, but it's done pretty well here. If you told me the singing boyfriend from EGA gave a good performance in anything before I saw this movie, I'd probably believe it. I mean, EGA is the only thing I've seen from him. I wouldn't have expected the movie to be in the same collection as They Saved Hitler's Brain. It's a tense movie about doom, inevitability, emasculation, and has the echoes of the burgeoning slasher genre. The Sadist is worth seeing. 1961's Anatomy of a Psycho is most notable for having a screenplay with contributions from legendary schlock filmmaker and future Tim Burton biopic subject, Ed Wood. Exactly how much of this movie is his, I don't know, but I do hear the same stock music from Plan 9 from Outer Space. Chet over here is understandably distraught about his brother being sentenced to death. When the execution happens, he flips out and spends the rest of the movie making it everyone else's problem, targeting the crime's witnesses.
They're gonna be sorry they were ever born.
Who?
All of them.
His sister is trying to have a relationship too, and her brother being crazy doesn't help with her reputation. It may not be a Wood-directed movie, but his wooden dialogue shines through the script.
I'm very disappointed in her attitude toward me.
The title is a play on the movie Psycho, but it has more in common with something that requires a tiny bit of explanation. In the 50s and 60s, there were a bunch of crappy teenage crime drama films made in the wake of moral outrage over teenagers. The more things change, the more they stay the same, I guess. And Anatomy of a Psycho is more in line with those than a horror movie. Almost all the ones I've seen have been in Mystery Science Theater, and all of them end with a corny-ass trial scene where the film's message is laid bare, and it's just so goddamn boring.
Seeing as it's your birthday, we'll let you go.
Okay, other notes. The staging of the action and the choreography is flat and goofy, and this guy proposes to the sister like this.
My father was the one that saw Duke kill that other man. He was the prosecution's eyewitness.
I know he did what he had to.
Listen, Pat, will you marry me?
The entire back half of the movie is just a really bad trial sequence. I got so bored I started building a model kit halfway through.
What you mean, Chet? Please, tell him he didn't do it. Tell him he didn't do it, Chet. Please, tell him he didn't do it.
Guru the Mad Monk feels like a recording of a community theater performance, and it's, frankly, fucking delightful.
His soul belongs to God.
I can't believe there is a God when things like this can happen.
Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that in my presence again.
A woman is sentenced to be executed for petty reasons. Obviously scared by this, her boyfriend goes to a psychotic bishop to manipulate the system to save her. Hilariously, the bishop has an evil side and he's going to feed the woman to his vampire girlfriend, which he has for some reason. Good for him, but it really comes out of nowhere. There's also a hunchback servant named Igor. He looks like he's having fun.
Like it here?
Filmed in dressed-up offices and basements with boom mics recording the dialogue from across the room, this thing is so goddamn charming. The actors are clearly giving it their all, and two of them succeed in creating genuine chemistry. I've been subjected to multiple sweaty sex scenes by now, and the two lovers here still manage to have the most convincing romance seen in this box set yet. Neil Flanagan as the monk is also delightfully hammy.
I can talk to you, and you just look up at me with that stupid smile of yours.
It's a ramshackle production full of silly dialogue and funny acting with a plot built entirely out of cliché. It's just punching so far above its weight and presenting itself with so much confidence. I love it. It's barely an hour long. Put it on for a Discord call or something.
Excuse me, could you tell me where I can find Father Guru? Thank you.
The Eerie Midnight Horror Show is not about a transsexual Transylvanian. It's actually a repackaged Italian exorcist knockoff about a woman named Danila who has sex with a statue. Yeah, what of it? And she gets possessed by a horny demon. They have to call in an exorcist to deal with her and everything. One of the movie's original titles was The Sexorcist, and I can't say it's not fitting. It was released a year before Rocky Horror Picture Show 2, so, the name was just entirely invented to trick people. And the DVD releases also try to trick you. Like, come on, they even got the lips. That's shameless. Being shameless is thematically appropriate, I guess.
It's hard to tell from his expression whether he's been organizing or refusing to join in the orgies.
Obviously, the movie being this charged means you're not going to be able to watch it with your parents in the same room, but for what it's going for, it's actually pretty decent. It's tightly paced, but slows down when it needs to set a creepy mood. Several scenes that set out to be viscerally uncomfortable succeed in being that. It follows the plot of The Exorcist almost verbatim in spots, but it's still got its own weird and kind of fun personality. Stella Carnacina's batshit insane performance as Danila is a highlight. It claims to be based on a true story, and that only gets funnier as the movie goes on. The Eerie Midnight Horror Show doesn't waste your time. It's a quick in and out.
I see now I can trust you. You've passed every test.
Next up is 1969's The House That Screamed, and if there's one thing I want to emphasize with this one is that it looks like a real movie. And by that I mean the sets are good and the cinematography and wide aspect ratio give it a grandiose look. Good job, Midwell. Set in a girls-only boarding school, new student Teresa starts to notice a horror movie is happening as her friends disappear. The school is under the rule of a strict and joyless tyrant played by old Hollywood actress Lily Palmer. She has dissidents violently whipped when they go against the grain, so she's the prime suspect for all the missing students. The headmistress has a son she's way too interested in, and there's a creepy gardener stalking the ground, so the movie has a couple red herrings for who's behind the killings. The scenes of which are actually presented pretty well. The House That Screamed is noted, on the Wikipedia page, for being an influence on films like Suspiria, and I noticed that in the general premise of killings at a boarding school. Though I would say the presentation here is more restrained. This isn't the Technicolor showcase Suspiria was. Lily Palmer is great as the horrible headmistress. The scenes where she torments the girls are uncomfortable in intentional ways. And the aforementioned camera work helps make this one feel more like a big studio production. It's better than a lot of movies here, but I'm not going to pretend like my burned out ass wasn't building a model kit for at least half of it. Yeah, I finished the other one a while ago and I started another. I got into Gundam and Gunpla recently. In the time it took to finish this video, I watched 90 episodes of everything released in the mid-80s. They're all great. Zeta's just straight up compelling television. I'll remember Camille B. Dawn for the rest of my life. Double Zeta takes a while to find a balance on its tone, but its highs are almost as good as Zeta's. Char's counterattack has fantastic action sequences, and the story is really good, even though certain parts of it feel very rushed. It's very enjoyable. I can see why this is a classic. I'm starting with high-grade kits until I'm in a good enough financial situation.
I don't give a damn.
Wow, that was super indulgent. Let's get back to the horror movies. And by that I mean let's talk about something that's not a horror movie.
You have no time to save her. It is too late.
A Spanish/Argentinian co-production set in medieval France, The Devil's Possessed stars box set resident Paul Naschy as a baron, who's convinced by his evil wife to sacrifice virgins and turn their blood into gold.
He's possessed by the devil.
Outside of that morbid plot point and a couple dungeon torture scenes, this really doesn't have much to do with horror. It has more in common with the sword and sorcery genre. There's a hero named Gaston stopping the Baron's men from kidnapping more girls, and he joins an underground resistance that storms the castle at the end. It's not terrible by any stretch. I enjoy this cheap little pastiche of the Middle Ages compared to the usual people go to a house and it's spooky antics of this box set. It's a nice change of pace. Not in terms of pacing, it's still rather slow and uneventful, save for the random bursts of swashbuckling. In any case, it's emphatically not a horror movie, no matter how much the gore and dinky little synth score try to suggest it is. I love how everyone just kind of awkwardly shuffles off once the conflict is resolved. It's really funny to me.
I'm haunted!
The Devil's Nightmare from 1971 starts with a scene I'm going to have to describe very carefully. Opening in 1945 Germany, an officer teleports a baby to the Shadow Realm. And it shows it too. The movie has the balls to show a duel like this in its opening minutes. It's tasteless, and the use of Exodia was a bit anticlimactic, but that's how you know it's not fucking around. He didn't do a good enough job because the baby came back from the Shadow Realm and grew up to be a succubus who terrorizes the guests of the officer 30 years later.
That rain outside, the castle's even spookier than ever.
It's a pretty tired setup, especially like 30 movies deep into a box set. But a couple things help this one rise above the rest. For one, it's really horny. I wasn't expecting the lesbians nor the amount of time spent showing them dueling. Good for them.
When I'm hungry, I'd even eat with the devil. I was just about to refer to him.
This one's got some colorful characters. I like this weird pale guy who only shows up in a couple scenes. The butler's deadpan delivery of dark information is pretty amusing. While I'm rattling off stuff that happens in this movie, the succubus treats one of her victims to a lobster dinner. I think it works despite its deficiencies. It's bizarre, the faces the succubus makes are hilarious, and it can be shocking. It's not for everyone, not at all, but considering it's the only feature-length movie this director made, it's not bad. Satan's Slave from 1976 stars Michael Goff, this time playing a less miserable character than the one in The Horror Crucible. Which is funny because he plays a Satanist wearing a cool goat mask who sacrifices people. A more miserable character is his son, who in the first 7 minutes attempts to rape a guest. Yeah, keep that content warning in mind if you want to check this out for some reason.
Go on. Get out!
After a laughably bad sequence where her car with her parents spontaneously combusts, Catherine is stranded with her evil relatives who are planning to sacrifice her and resurrect one of the cult's founding members.
Everybody got that?
The road to get to that resurrection is a gaslight Olympics. Everyone in the house lies to her about what happened to her parents and willfully ignore her premonitions.
And the voices. You must have heard them.
Just the wind.
The gore is actually a reprieve for once. Shocking violence is a tried and true payoff for crushing boredom. The makeup is pretty good. There's a scene where a guy jumps off a bridge and the result is unnerving in a way the rest of the movie just isn't. The son Steven has a habit of killing people and he stabs the secretary into a door in a manner not too dissimilar to how Michael Myers kills someone in Halloween. If Satan's Slave had more prototypical slasher stuff like this in it, it would be more interesting to talk about. Could have done without the kissing cousins subplot too. That shit's just weird. It's another people go to a house and it's spooky movie that only really turns into something in the last 20 minutes, and even then the ending sucks. Boo. And I don't mean the ghost kind, I mean actually boo. This movie sucks.
If you've ruined my plans, Stephen, I'll kill you. I can promise you that.
Like many movies here, 1969's Fangs of the Living Dead starts with a traveler going to a spooky old castle. The context this time being that insert name later was just informed she just inherited the castle. And she gets a little more than she bargained for.
What are you going to do now?
The original Spanish version is a whole 20 minutes longer. It's probably the more effective version, and I would have rewatched it for this video, but I don't know, guys. I'm 39 movies deep into a 5-month-long project, and I'm too burned out to watch the same movie, but slower.
McClunky.
Yeah, this was the final straw. I couldn't finish this one. This project started in February. I'm writing this part in June, and I'm voicing this part in July. I have built so much gunpla in the time it's taken to get this project done. Yes, I am including this arc so I can make these purchases a tax write. God, fine, okay, jeez. Our final movie is Dr. Jekyll and the Werewolf. Also, hey, it's another Paul Naschy movie where he gets to play his violent, tortured, and tragic Wolfman OC. After speedrunning a Universal monster film in the first half, with the angry mob and everything, Naschy and his new hot girlfriend move to London, where he seeks the help of the descendant of Dr. Jekyll to cure his werewolfism. Instead, he injects him with literal evil juice and he becomes a Hyde-werewolf hybrid. Why the fuck did he do that?
And when the moon is full, he'll fight against the mutation, which the same full moon produces on him to turn him into a werewolf.
Yeah, okay man, sure. I can see why this whole thing goes wrong. We've got a Wolfman-Hyde hybrid running around, and the idea is that the Hyde form will beat the Wolfman, but spoilers, that doesn't end up happening. The old Silver Bullet does the job like usual. They set up this plan and it doesn't end up happening. The whole thing was an excuse for the star/writer to play two movie monsters. I don't know why, but I was expecting the werewolf and the Hyde sides to split from the hero like in the Manster, and that's how we would have gotten a fight at the end. Instead, Hyde just unceremoniously gets pushed back into Naschy's head. Maybe someone did suggest that, but Naschy started barking at them for suggesting someone else could play the monster. I enjoyed this one, but it's worth mentioning that I watched a version of this movie that had 20 minutes of the footage removed. It starts halfway through a conversation, and the edits only get more baffling from there. I'm running out of time, and I've got a bunch of other projects I need to do, so this is where I'm leaving it. In retrospect, I probably should have saved the Bigfoot movie for last. Oops. Not gonna lie, this was pretty painful. There are some good movies in this collection, but there's a severe variety issue. This isn't like the Mad Scientist box set or the Monster box set where it's marketing itself as having just one type of movie. And yeah, people going to a dark house or castle where spooky things happen has been a horror movie premise since, like, forever. But I'm not gonna lie, there are so many movies like that here that they start to blend together into an indistinct brown and gray sludge, with only a handful emerging as ones I would actually recommend. Pure Terror isn't specific enough. They should have titled this Boo! Haunted House. Whenever something out of left field like Starman or Bigfoot showed up, I was very happy, even if the movies themselves weren't very good.
It happened
It's not like I'm advocating watching every movie here in a marathon, so it's really only an issue specific to me. I had a good time with the ones highlighted in green, the ones in yellow are half recommendations, the rest I can only recommend to the morbidly curious. Most of this was crap, but you know what? You kinda go into these collections knowing that. Thanks for watching. Have a happy Halloween. Once again, a very special shout out to Swansea, Aotus, Gojira King, Iron Knight, Z-Bolt, Sammy Likes Toku, Lemon Boy, Adelaide, Tato Salad, Serix, Nerdy Gamer 556, Neon Yaminair, J King, Mech, Celis Ortesia, Greninja Zack, Old Metal Possum, Solid Lib, Kadorian, Scooterjet, Magomuddy, Lobotomy Blues, Cool Bell Zero, Eric Guzda, Janos Firewalker, Easterman, Manila Fan, Big Dumb Media, Jacob Hinch, Dude Bro, Alistair Gilmore, Seamus Kelly, Fujoshi Urinal, Luan Nguyen, Irrelevant 402, Hey I'm Mooney, Krazak 53, Queer Kaiju, Chronicler Waba, Ryan Santa Cruz, Avok Robot, Godzilla Rich, It's Godz, An Actual Dimetrodon, CMG, Red Comet Harry, and Marpzilla. Thank you all very much. You're getting this really early, so it's not Halloween when this comes out for you. But yeah, have a good day.